Rain Access Solutions.
Hi, I'm Glenn of Rain Access Solutions. Welcome to my vlog. Welcome again to my C#.NET tutorials for beginners. Later I will upload this to my Google Cloud and to my pCloud, and I will share the link in this video in the description box below. So today we're going to talk about the debugging. So let's open lesson number 3. Okay, here is our previous lesson. This is about using tuple in real time. And if you look at the code in here, what this does, it pings a computer and it returns a variable with tuple properties. So I'm just going to show you that in Visual Studio there is a debugger that traps the error even before you execute it. So if your source code has a problem, like for example, you forgot to add a semicolon on this line number 30, right away you will see in the bottom in the error list that you have an error on line 30 here, and this is pointing out to this line, which is also line 30. It's also giving you a hint on how to fix that error. It's saying here CS1002, that is the code, and the description is a semicolon is expected. So if you look here at this line, you'll notice that there is no semicolon at the end of the word, the line. So let's just fix it by adding a semicolon and run again. And let's enter a valid IP address and ping. So there, it's working, right? Now, that is one way of fixing an error. Visual Studio helps you to find the error or catch it even before you execute the program. So it's actually giving you less headache to find the bug in your program by assisting you where to find it and how to fix it. Okay, another thing is we can add a breakpoint. Just point to a line of code and click on this vertical bar here, this empty space. As you notice, before you even click, there is a silhouette of a circle filled with white color. If you click on that, it will turn into red color. So now this is what we call the breakpoint. If we run the code, and put it in the center and run the program and ping, it will go to the breakpoint. So what does it do? Breakpoint it's a kind of cropping or letting you stop the program in the line where you marked it. And from here you will actually see the values of the variables that you have declared. For example, the txt result is showing the variable, the value of this Tango Talk SVR, and the reply is still empty because it hasn't go to that part yet. Here at the top you will see some of the icons for debugging. It says step into, step over. Okay, step over means it will proceed with executing the next line of code. It executes the next line of code, and if that next line of code contains a routine that calls a method or class, it skips reading what is inside those class or method, but rather it just executes the whole method and goes back here. Let's click step over. There, it moves to the second line, And as you can see, it also shows the milliseconds or the elapsed time the elapsed time when we run this line. So it's pretty fast, like 2 milliseconds. That's fast. And then click the step over again, and that's it, it's done. You can change the location of your step over by reclicking this on the other location there. If we start from here, then the breakpoint or the debugger will start from this line. Let's run it. Click 192.168.10.8. Here now it started from this, and immediately you can see that the value for IP address is this, which we have entered. Now if you hover the mouse icon to the next, it is saying null because it hasn't stepped into this yet. So what we will do is we click the step over, and right away it's gonna go to the second line. Now the IP address has a value, whereas earlier it was set to null, and now it is showing this. Click the step over again and it goes here. Now you have the ping reply, which is null, but you have the IP address here. Click step over and go here. Now you have the value because the line of code was already executed, and then it moves back to the first line again. Step over again. Sorry, it didn't go here, but rather it moves to this line. So that's why you have the value here now. See, it is still empty because it hasn't run this line yet. Now, if after moving to this bracket, if you look at the ping reply text, now you have a value and it is no longer null. This is very useful if you want to debug some of the problems, some errors, which the Visual Studio cannot trap, but rather is a logic error, meaning the code structure is correct, all the syntaxes are right, but your logic is wrong. That's why you can view the values of each variable while it is running in this debugger mode. Close it. Another thing that is nice with this is that if you declare an array, you can actually see the values in each element in the array when you create a breakpoint in one of these lines. Okay, let's go ahead and create that stuff. So by adding another command button and changing its name to command cmd loop and changing its text to loop, while loop, it's because I'm going to create an iteration. First, I'm going to create an array, and using an iteration, I'm going to populate each element from the iteration. That's why I call it a loop. Let's go ahead and click that and write the code inside. First, I'm going to declare an array. With 10 elements. And now I'm going to start the loop, the iteration. And every time it loops, it's gonna insert the value of this variable to the array. Okay, it's done. Let's go ahead and run the source code. Put an IP address. Actually, no need to put an IP address because here is the command button that we add, and run it. Nothing happened, right? Because I didn't put an output for us to see the number. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a breakpoint starting from here. You can actually assign a breakpoint in a bracket so that this whole thing here can complete its execution. So therefore we can see the values of the variables. Run the source code and click on the loop button. Now we are in the debugger mode and it is now pointing to the breakpoint. If we hover our mouse to each of these variables and array names, you can see the value. Current value of nvar is 0. That's because it is the first loop. So if we go to step over, click it again, it goes to it started counting from the loop. Click the step over again. Now it is still adding, or it is accumulating number. This nvar here is accumulating number to itself. So every time we do the step over, the value is of the nvar is being added with 1. Step over, now you can see that the value of nvar, this one, is increasing. Now it's number 2. Let's complete another loop again and go here. The nvar is now 3. So every time we step over, it's executing each line. Now if you wish to see the current values of each element in this array, you can actually go here, hover the mouse onto the first declaration of an array and then click this view. Select the enumerable and you will see here that your current loop is up to 4, and that is actually 5 loops already because we started at 0. So element 1 has the 0 value, element 2 has 1 value, element 3 has 2 value, and so on. So this is nice, right? You can see the whole elements of the arrays and what element is currently populated by the for loop. Alright, so that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. That's our tutorial for today for lesson 5. I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you find this video useful, please subscribe to my channel. Leave your comments at the comment section below. Have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye.